Hello everyone on the Earth and not. My name is Swag Bastion, and in this episode of How to Play Legends of Runeterra, you'll learn about spells. As I said before, spells are cards with effects but no stats. When a spell is cast, its token is shown in the middle of the board to both players, indicating that it's prepped. You can cancel the casting of any of your spells by dragging the token away from the center, but only before you end your turn. There are three types of spells represented by these icons. The three types of spells are Burst, Fast, and Slow. The icon indicating which type of spell is will always be directly under the mana cost. The type is also stated on the card as of now. These types determine when you can play a spell during the course of the game. Something you need to know before learning about spells is that your turn ends when you play a unit, and you cannot play units while there are spell tokens on the board. Now let's talk more about spell types. Burst spells can be played at any time during your turn and take effect immediately. This means that their spell tokens go away as soon as you cast them. Because of this, you can play burst spells on the same turns that you play a unit, but only before you play that unit. You can also play any number of them during your turn as long as you have the mana to play them. Here is an example of a burst spell in action. A common burst spell, Elixir of Wrath, gives an ally +3 power for the rest of the round. This format here is read as +3 power, +0 health, because units have power on the left and health on the right. The line in the middle is just a divider for clarity. I can play Elixir of Wrath either during combat or outside of combat because it is a burst spell. It gives my unit +3 power right away, so that it can kill the enemy unit. Fast spells can also be played either during or outside of the combat phase, but they do not take effect immediately. This means that their spell tokens stay on the board, which also means that you cannot play a unit on the same turn that you play fast spells. Your opponent can react with their own spells while the spell is prepped because fast spells cast after your opponent ends their turn. Your opponent doesn't have to react to your spell cast, in which case nothing would happen and your spell would cast without any interference. You can play any amount of fast spells during your turn as long as you have mana to play them, just like burst spells. If you have any playable burst or fast spells in your hand after your opponent has set up their attack or defense, then you will get an extra turn during the combat phase to be able to play those spells. Slow spells do not take effect immediately and can be reacted to just like fast spells, but they can only be played outside of combat and if there are no enemy spell tokens on board. Here's an example. You can play burst, fast, and slow spells on the same turn, but you can only play a maximum of one slow spell per turn. Slow spells also cannot be played on the same turn that you play a unit, just like fast spells. Here's an example with all three types. Lastly, I'm going to tell you about spell mana. This is your mana counter. This is your spell mana counter. In addition to the maximum of 10 mana you can also get extra mana that can only be used for spells. Any of your unspent mana will go into your spell mana pool at the start of your next turn, up to a maximum of 3. This can happen at any point in the game. Something I forgot to mention in the last video is that your turn automatically passes if there is nothing you can do. Anyway, that's it for this video, and there are more videos coming soon. Sorry for not uploading this sooner. I've been sick. And have a Daylin.